My viewpoint always follows from Christian ethics. So promiscuity in men is, from my view, right, is a no-no, just like it is with women. But while that's prescriptively true, meaning this is a prescription I give men and women, I'm also going to give a descriptive truth. The descriptive truth is that it's less of a big deal for women than it is for men. And because that is the case, that women perceive it that way versus men, the societal damage is always going to be lesser if men do it than if women do.
Sure. Yeah,
That's
that makes
it.
sense.
Simple.
Honestly, yeah.
There's my
Until that
prescription.
changes.
My prescription
Yeah.
is that neither of you should do this. But descriptively, if this behavior is found in one sex versus the other, it's more damaging. That's why we have virtues. That's what femininity and masculinity is. It's a tie to virtue from the sex, right? So if women engage in one type of virtue and it does way more damage if they abandon it versus men, it's feminine. It's masculine. If men refuse the virtue and does way more damage to society, that's a masculine virtue.
So you're saying societally, because men typically do it. Hold on, let me take this back.
No. The
Because
ramifications on society
Yes.
are, it's not as bad, right? The outcomes are not as bad.
Because
if
women are
men-
generally more accepting of a high body.
No, not just that, because of reproduction. Like
how
there's a
many-
reproductive element which goes into it, which would make it worse for especially for the outcome for children, if it is the case that women are promiscuous versus men. Like, for instance, you could have 300 promiscuous men all screwing the same woman, right? For like the purpose of reproduction or whatever. That would be less bad than if you had 300 women get pregnant and be single moms, right? Like, ultimately, that would be worse, right?
Wait, worse for what?
Just for society in general, if there was 300 single moms
Unless you needed more
versus one single mom, right?
Yeah.
That would still be worse. You would agree, right?
I don't know. Are you trying to make kids? I don't. Yeah.
It's not a matter
I
of
get what
making
you're saying
kids.
with that.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to give you a scale.
Yeah.
That's it. Just like a sliding scale.
Yeah.
I'm not saying any of it's good. Just which
Right.
would be more optimal, which would be
Which
better.
makes sense.
Personally, my boyfriend and my ex right before him both had very low body counts. I don't know the exacts, but I know it's pretty low. And I actually appreciated that in him.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not even saying that there's a matter of appreciation. We're just saying that ultimately, here's what I see, that women, generally speaking, have a lesser interest in the male body count than the men do with the female body count.
Sure.
And I also see the outcomes of if you have promiscuous women, because they can reproduce and men can't, seems to actually be worse if women are promiscuous than men. Because men can be promiscuous with a small pool of women, right? But if women become promiscuous with a large pool of men, there's going to be reproduction.
Is there a component here too to the unfairness and the double standard is that, and I agree with Andrew insofar as I don't think either men or women should be promiscuous. I don't think promiscuity is good in men or women. But I do know that there is some cohort of men who, for example, if a woman sleeps with a bunch of men, she's a slut. If a guy sleeps with a bunch of women, he's a stud. Like it's, and not all, trust me, there's men who frown on the guy who's promiscuous too,
Right.
like I just said.
Right.
Like me.
But
I call them fucking degenerates.
They're all deep.
I like that we've gotten here though. This is great.
Yeah.
But there is some men who will be impressed by a man who's sexually successful with a lot of women. Mm-hmm. So is that a component of your argument?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge part
Sure.
of it. So
And-
I mean I'm understanding where Andrew came from with the whole,
Right. I mean, again, just to be clear, not in favor of male promiscuity.
Right.
But I guess my response to that would be, when it comes to the impressiveness factor, or men who sleep with a lot of women, they're like, "Oh, you're such a stud. You're so cool." The reality is, any single woman, if she wanted to, could be a slut.
Oh, yeah.
Any single woman could be a slut. Very, very few men can be a slut. Like most men, average man, he can't sleep with a new girl every single day. Every single girl at this table, if you wanted to, you could sleep with a new guy every single day of the week. You could probably fuck 3 guys in a day. You could probably fuck 10 guys.
Hang on, I see you shaking your head. I will prove this to you. I will put a bet on the table right now for $500 that if you and I go out to the street right now with a cardboard sign, you hold it up and say, "I'll sleep with any man who wants," and I hold it up and say, "I'll sleep with any woman who wants," which one of us can picked up first?
Okay.
Which one of us getting picked up first?
Probably me.
Yeah, huh?
But
Yeah, why do you disagree, I guess?
it's I mean, yeah, women. It's easier for women to go out and sleep around, but for some women, that's not the case. And for some men, it's easy to go sleep around. So it's like
Sure,
you can't even say it's easier for one gender over the other because it's up to looks at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's attractive men who can sleep around, and there's attractive women who can sleep around.
Well, okay. So look, just to be clear, I'm not saying that there's 0 men who are sluts. That's not even my argument.
Yeah,
There absolutely are men who can sleep with a bunch of women. This is not what I'm disputing. And then I think men, either if they're really good looking, they can do this. If they have like exceptional top tier charisma or personality, they can do it. If they're like, well, if they're super wealthy, but they're a dork, it's probably still going to be a little hard. But like if they're super rich,
They just
might
throw
help.
money.
Yeah,
And then
and pay
if
for it.
status,
Yeah.
like she said, status, celebrity, so like a professional athlete, a musician, an actor, these men, even if they're not really that good looking or they don't have great personalities or whatever, although sometimes status tends to give the aura or the halo of charisma, even if there's not actually any there. But yeah, so those are the scenarios in which men can be sluts, so to speak. But I don't think most men fall into those categories. Most men don't fall into those categories. So the reality is you can take a woman who's average looking, who's got a terrible personality, terrible personality. She has 0 status. She has no fame. She has no money. She doesn't have any of these things. She could hop on Tinder and sleep with 3 guys a day if she wanted to. Most women don't want to do that, but if she could, is what I'm trying to get at. Whereas like most men just can't do that.
You mean physically? I'm sorry.
What do you mean physically?
Do you mean they can't do that physically?
No, what I'm saying is they
Like on the
wouldn't.
apps, they're not
they
going to get
wouldn't-
enough matches.
why can't they do it?
Even with like, so there's a degree of effort too, right? Like a guy who's really good looking, but he stays inside all the time and doesn't communicate with women, but otherwise could get laid, isn't going to get laid. So there is a degree of effort that's involved. But I would argue like an average looking guy, even if he's like putting in like a really good faith effort, like he spends 3 hours a day on dating apps, he spends another hour or 2 messaging back and forth with different women, he's not going to get laid every single day. Whereas a woman, I think you could spend about an hour on a dating app, do some messaging. You could fuck three dudes in a day.
And I think that us women see it completely, for me anyway, I see it completely opposite. I was on like every app there was, and I got a lot of play, especially as like a masculine presenting person. But
Yeah.
I think it was because I was a more masculine presenting person that I got so much play. So for me, I would definitely say that if I was biologically male, it would be so much easier for me to swipe right and link up than it would be because then, like he said, like
should
women
try
have
it.
periods. Women have.
You should try it.
I mean, we just.
You should try that.
I have, and it was great.
Going to you though, have you been on dating apps at all?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. How many guys do you swipe no on the dating apps?
I don't know. I haven't been on recently, but quite a few.
Like what percentage of
I
men?
don't
If
know,
there's
maybe
100
like
guys, how many do you say no to?
Probably like 60-40.
60-40. Okay, but how many of those guys do you meet up with?
2.
You've only met up with 2.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Of all the men that you've wanted to sleep with, did you sleep with them?
No.
Okay. What's the rejection rate? So just to be clear, so you offered essentially I'm not necessarily suggesting super directly, but you offered to the guy basically, here's some pussy. You gave it to him on a silver platter and he's like, no.
No, that's not always been the case, but it's been more or less like, I don't know, in my experience, I've been willing to, but then it's just like the personality is just, I don't know how to explain it.
The guy's personality?
Yes, it's like,
Yeah.
it's,
Wait,
it's,
that's making Brian's
it's
point.
not, it's not good, and then it just makes me like,
Wait, you were willing to have sex in general, but that specific guy, well, I mean, I think we're all willing in general to have sex with people. But yeah, of course. So you're saying, well, that's just a rejection then.
I mean,
Some
yeah,
of
but
us
I mean,
anyway, I guess.
But so, okay. But you were saying that, Wait, I'm just confused. So, okay, of the men that you've offered sex to, were you turned down?
One time, yeah.
But just to be clear, I'm not saying like you had a boyfriend and one time he was sick and he didn't want to have sex that one time. I'm just saying.
No, I've been turned down before, yeah.
You've been rejected.
Yes,
okay.
I've been
How many guys have you turned down for sex?
For sex? I don't really have.
Well, I have a way to maybe demonstrate this that everybody will agree with. I call it the flasher hypothetical. It works like this. Hang on. It works like this. We'll take a 25-year-old random man, 25-year-old random woman. They have an overcoat on and nothing underneath, and they're flashing people in a random Walmart parking lot. And what they do is they open up the overcoat and they say, hey, you want to go have sex?
What the fuck?
Tell me which one, man or woman, is going to have sex almost immediately versus the other one, man or woman?
Who I would have sex with?
No. Who any
Who
normal
person
person
in general
normally would.
Probably a woman.
Okay, next.
I definitely say a woman.
Next.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Next.
Woman.
Next.
wait. I'm kind of confused on the question.
Woman. Okay, that's the end of that then.
Right? Done.
That's the end of
Women
that.
are more desirable.
Done.
To bring it back to this though, the whole thing is like, okay, why is there this double standard where men are kind of exalted for their promiscuity, not by all people, but by some group of men, whereas women are almost kind of universally looked down upon if they're promiscuous. It really just comes down to the impressiveness of the achievement.
That makes sense.
I think to some degree it's incredibly easy for women to get laid, whereas for men there's some
Very
degree
difficult.
of skill and complexity in order to achieve that.
So for
Like
men?
as a woman,
Yeah.
you don't need skill to get laid.
By the way, as demonstrated by our hypothetical.
Yeah.
Okay. As demonstrated by our hypothetical.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty grimy, not that. I don't even know how to explain it. Just some grimy
Sure.
guys been able to get laid easily.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a guy who actually spread STDs around a school in my
Sure.
town because he was just sleeping around.
Well, was he grimy because
And there's
of
going to
the
be lots of
STDs?
other men who
No,
are
he was
around
just
him who are like,
grimy in
how
general.
did you
He was
do
just
that?
grimy in general.
But if a woman's doing that, there's no women around who are like, how did you do that? They all know how she did that.
Right.
She just offered it up, and men were like, sure.
Yeah.
Simple.
So it kind of comes down to like a skill thing. Like, oh, you didn't even have to work for it, so it's
Yeah.
not.
So men are just, are they angrier then? Are some men
mean, I
angrier?
wouldn't be angry.
That, no. Or just that they're like, damn, I want to be able to have sex more, but women get to do it easily.
Let me. I guess I.
No,
I
it
asked-
wouldn't be either of those things.
I pose this question to you, I guess going around the table. Of the men that you've had sex with, of the men that you wanted to have sex with, and let's be reasonable here, like you probably wanted to have sex with some like really attractive celebrity, but he's not in your orbit really. I'm talking about men you have like in-person
What the
contact.
fuck? What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck is going on here? What is this? What is this?
What happened?
Yeah, well, you said like celebrity,
Yeah, in
and
the
then I look
orbit.
over, she's beet red and giggling. She's beet red. Okay, so spill the beans.
I'm in filmmaking too.
Oh,
so-
okay.
Why are they repeating your line?
Was it
Was that my laugh?
Jared Leto?
Yeah.
No, but I have friends that know him.
Did you say ooh?
No. Oh.
She said
Did she?
ew.
Oh.
Did you,
I mean, I get it.
was there
I get
a
it.
Leto connection?
No, not from. I know people that
Jake
know him and
Gyllenhaal?
that are on him. No,
Ooh,
that would be
Spill the
great.
beans.
I'm on. I see some of these people.
Spill the beans.
We're on the red
Spill
carpet.
the beans.
So.
Your face was bright red.
It was bright red.
Okay. Spill the beans.
No, he didn't get to finish his sentence.
That's obfuscation. Don't let her obfuscate. She gotta spill the beans. bro.
He was. You were in the middle of saying something.
Here, why don't we do this? Was it an athlete, musician, or actor?
Actor.
Actor. A-list?
Yes.
Ooh.
Leo? Nah.
I used to be. Leo's great. Not Leo and I, but I've met Leo a couple times. No, Leo's great. I met him a couple times. I really liked him.
Please don't take this offensively,
Yeah.
or don't take offense to this. You're probably too old for Leo.
I think so. I think that's what happened. No, I think that's what happened.
By
I think that's
possibly a
he
couple
met
of
me and he was
decades.
like, "Oh,
He
so
only
close."
dates like under 25
Yeah.
or whatever. So
And that's okay. I'm okay with being too old for that.
we're gonna read a couple chats.